Two former Walker County jailers charged with misconduct against inmates are now facing enhanced charges that investigators say stem from a hate crime. News 3's Whitney Miller has more in the News Center on these charges. Whitney.
Well, Carla, the two jailers are out on bond, but they could face up to 2 years behind bars for what investigators say was a hate crime motivated by race. Upgraded charges are what Matthew Beeman and James Stevens are now facing after a grand jury was asked to take another look into allegations that they assaulted two Walker County jail inmates.
Based on their position, they used that authority to behave inappropriately.
According to the district attorney, last summer, Beeman and Stevens were seen on surveillance footage slamming an inmate's head into the ground, and in another instance, they threw water on an inmate and forced him to mop up afterwards. Once the administration was notified, both men were initially placed on leave as the sheriff's office investigated. Several days later,
both employees were terminated at that point in time. The case itself was turned over to the district attorney's office.
But since their initial charges, the DA says they've received additional evidence that proves the men were racially motivated in their attacks.
There was information that we didn't have at the time of the original investigation, obviously digital information and those kinds of things that we didn't have at the time that we were able to retrieve, that led us to look a little bit further into what was happening between these two gentlemen.
Sheriff McRae says he stands by the DA's decision to upgrade the charges.
My job as a Texas sheriff in my jail is to protect the inmates that are here, regardless of them being in here on a criminal offense.
Now, one of the two inmates referenced in this case is still here, is still at the Walker County Jail. The other is no longer in custody for now. In the News Center, Whitney Miller, News 3.
Thanks so much, Whitney.